Добър вечер. Welcome.
Good evening. Welcome.
I'm very glad to... Oh, sorry. Много съм щастлив да ви видя тази вечер в двора на нашата прекрасна синагога.
I'm very excited to see you all in the garden of our beautiful synagogue.
Преди да продължа нататък с това, което ще ви кажа, само ще ви помоля да не забравите да си включите телефоните след като концерта завърши.
Before I go on and continue, I want to ask you not to forget to turn your phone on after the concert is over.
Благодаря за това. Тази вечер с прекрасното съдейство на посолството на Ирландия и на семейство Роун, имаме честта да откриеме новата инициатива за провеждане на серия концерти през летния сезон, така наречените концерти на терасата.
This evening we have the honor to welcome here a concert that is performed with the great cooperation of the Embassy of Ireland and the Rowan family. This concert is part of a series of concerts that will take place this summer in the garden of the synagogue, and we call them concerts on the terrace.
Това е едно, мисля, събитие в културния живот на София. Това е наш пръв опит и като виждам така, че залата се изпълни, надявам се, че това ще бъде сполучлив опит и ще бъде продължение в следващите месеци като една добра традиция.
And having this concert as the first of the series of concerts, I'm very happy that our hall is full, and I believe that this is going to become part of the cultural program of the city of Sofia, and I'm very happy to see you all here.
Аз се надявам, че всички вие ще се абонирате за тези концерти, въпреки че са безплатни, но ще ни оставите по някакъв начин вашите мейли, за да можем да ви съобщаваме за следващите събития. Тук ще оставим една купа накрая в синагогата, който има бизнес картичка и иска да остави, за да получава бъдещите съобщения. Ще се радваме да бъдем в контакт с вас.
I hope that you will leave us your contacts in the form of a business card or something that you can leave at the exit, and then we can inform you about every following and every concert that will come, and we'll be very happy to have you here again and again this summer.
Както виждате, Господ е с нас, днеска не е толкова горещо, даже и не вали, така че си пожелаваме една приятна вечер на всички нас, заедно с Даяна Роун.
As you can see, God is with us as well, because the weather is not as hot as it was the last few days. I wish you a very pleasant concert experience with our artists.
Аз ще прочета няколко думички за Диана преди да започнем концерта. Имате програмата, така че тези неща са написани на билингва, на английски и на български език.
You all have the program, so you have everything both in Bulgarian and English, but I will give you a few words about the artist Diana Roll.
Диана Рол ще представи музикална програма за арфа, която включва прочутите Авино Малкено, Ерев Шел Шошатим, ВМР Мана Ву, Сефарадската лозе Ен Флоренце, както и мелодии на 5 келтски националности. Текстовете ще бъдат рецитирани на иврит, български и английски, за да завършат това пътешествие през различните култури и да подчертаят универсалността на природата на изкуството. Изпълненията на арфистката Даяна Роун се описват като притежаващи необичайна сила и красота. Най-новият албум, Толкова нагоре, толкова надолу, отразява последното й пътуване из Азия, както и проучванията върху необичайните арфи от Етиопия и Персия за нейната докторска дисертация. Съчетавайки виртуозни техники от класическо обучение и емоционалността на дълбоките фолклорни традиции, Диана изследва границите на звука на арфата. Родена в Ирландия, тя живее и учи на източното крайбрежие на САЩ, Европа и Близкия изток, преди да се установи в Бъркли, Калифорния, където получава магистърската си степен по музика. Всяка страна оставя отпечатък върху музиката на Даяна, приплитаща келтски, източноевропейски, близкоизточни и класически елементи и митологии. Между изпълненията по цял свят от австралийския арбофестивал през музея Смитсънин в Вашингтон до средновековни източноевропейски катедрали, Диана преподава на напреднали, а музиката може да бъде чута на множество компакт-дискове и използване на филми и телевизионни сериали, включително 3 солови албума на Пантерей, яркото познание и предстоящия толкова нагоре и толкова надолу. Даяна разделя времето си между Сан-Франциско и Източна Европа, където работи върху своята докторантура в Националната музикална академия в София. Тя твърдо вярва в оздравителната сила на музиката и често свири в болници и медицински центрове, чрез организацията си Арфисти за здраве. Пожелавам ви приятна вечер и приятно слушане. Даяна Сиовка.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for coming and everyone who made it possible. We met about this about 3 weeks ago and everybody was so enthusiastic and helpful and we managed to pull it together in short order. And I'm very excited to have Robert and Sofia here today helping out with the translations because I feel like the words are very, very important in this particular type of music, actually Irish and Hebrew music. The words are very lyrical and they really affect the melodies. So I'm excited you have a chance to hear them today. And I think you heard a little bit about the connection between the harp in Jewish culture and in Irish culture. The harp originated in the Middle East about 5,000 years ago and has traveled over to become the national instrument of Ireland. And most people think that this kind of harp is actually Irish, but really it's more Middle Eastern. So, in the Bay Area, in the San Francisco Bay Area, I have the great privilege of being close to a very strong Jewish community. And so I get to play in a lot of events. I've done probably 100 weddings. And the High Holy Days, I've done those. And it's been an amazing experience to accompany Encounter. So I'd like to start out today actually with a song I play a lot for weddings. It's oftentimes a processional for when the bride comes down the aisle. It's called Erev Shel Shoshanim, and that means Evening of Roses. And you'll get to hear the beautiful Hebrew lyrics right now from Sofia. Cohen. Thank you.
Ще прочета текста на песента Ерев шел Шошаним. ערב של שושנים נצאנה אל הבוסתן, מור בסמים ולבונה, לרגלך מפתן. לילה יורד לאט ורוח שושן נושבה. הבא אלחש לך שיר בלט, זמר של אהבה. שחר ומי יונה, ראשך מלא תללים, פיך אל הבוקר שושנה אקטפן לי. In English. Evening of roses, let us go out to the garden. Myrrh, spices, and frankincense are as a carpet under your feet. Night falls slowly, and a wind of roses blows. Let me whisper a song for you slowly, a tune of love. Down in the dove coos, your hair is full of dewdrops. Your lips are as roses unto the morning. I will pick them for myself.
Thank you. For my next piece, my dad is actually going to help me out. You're going to hear a very rare type of Gaelic spoken. It is Manx from the Isle of Man. The Isle of Man is a tiny little country in between England and Ireland, and it's considered to be one of the Celtic nations. So this particular piece is called The Sheep Beneath the Snow. So it's a lament. And I actually had a beautiful experience lately accompanying a silent movie, and it was set on the Isle of Man, and it was an old Hitchcock movie that got restored. So this was actually one of the tunes that we used in that. But first, we're going to have a Hebrew piece that I learned for the High Holy Days called B'nai Omar, and Sofia is going to help me with that. And I'm actually going to finish it up with a Spanish piece. It's Galician, so that is actually considered one of the Celtic nations as well. And this particular piece is called a bruja. It's an instrumental, so there are no words for that. But maybe I could start with Sofia for the Hebrew, and then my dad will get up and you'll get to hear Manx.
ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. Thus it has been said, Adonai will be sovereign over all the earth. On that, Adonai will be one, and God's name will be one.
Well, this is a first for me because although Manx is a Gaelic language, it was never written down, and as you can see in the program that you have here, it's written phonetically, whereas if you turn over the page you'll see how Gaelic should be written. So I'm going to do my best on this one. Lerageri Nanyachta Asari de Ro Vanashin Geri Maru as nyan bago vion. O iri shut bachtlan as gashir nam nula tan a chiri foniachta hadon svadiru.
Thank you. So I guess that's another connection between Irish and Jewish culture is in Spain. And we see both represented. And later we'll hear a little Sephardic music and someone who speaks Ladino for real. So a very rare thing. It was actually Bulgarian music that got me to play the harp. And people who know me already know this story, but I used to be a classical pianist, and I heard someone playing the harp accompanying a Bulgarian song, and it completely changed my life. It was actually a whole concert. Kitka, who is an American group that does Bulgarian vocal works, women's vocal works in particular. So the next piece I'd like to play for you, I actually heard at that very first concert that brought me to the harp. And a whole series of coincidences put harps in my hands. One of my piano students had one, just offhand, she had one, and gave it to me. And now I get to be here in Bulgaria. It's really an amazing circle. So I'm not going to attempt the name of this song, but I'm sure you're going to recognize it. And in the middle, there's going to be an Irish song by the great composer Sean O'Reda, and he was very responsible for reviving Irish traditional music. Particularly in the 60s. He was from Cork and wrote beautiful, beautiful music. So you'll hear a little bit of that in the middle. So I thought I should play something cheerful, and I'm going to play a jolly little couple of Irish songs, one from Ireland, one from Scotland. And the first one is called Singing Bird. It's traditionally, I believe, from Dublin, which is the city I was born in. And the second is called Mary's Wedding. So that's another one I play a lot at weddings. And I believe that is from a composer. It sounds like a traditional song, but it's not. It's a Glaswegian composer. It's Dublin and Glasgow. It was fun playing that with the birds. Yeah, Singing Bird. So the next piece is another combination of a Celtic song and a Jewish song. The Jewish song is Ma Navu, which was composed maybe in the 60s, something like that, and has become a very popular tune, particularly for dancing. A lot of traditional dances are made up around this particular tune, and I find it very beautiful, and the words, you'll hear those in just a second. And the Irish song is Tame Mochi, which my dad actually knows by memory, and he'll tell you a little bit about this particular piece. So maybe we could hear first the words from Sofia.
מה נבוא אל הערים, רגה לחמי וסר, מה שמי הישועה, מה שמי השלום. How pleasant on the mountains are the feet of the messenger of good tidings. He proclaims salvation, he proclaims peace.
Just before I enter this, we're blessed to hear this mixture of culture. We've had Galician, there'll be more Ladino, which is Spanish. I'd just like to say on all our behalves to convey our condolences to Pepe, the Spanish ambassador, on the terrible tragedy that took place near Santiago de Compostela. Please accept our condolences, Pepe. This song I learned on holiday in Donegal, Northwest Ireland, where Gaelic is still the everyday language. The thing that's most remarkable about this, it's the most when you look at the English translation, you'll see that the images are the most earthy images, fireside, the farm, the cockerels crowing. But then they move almost without a second thought to the supernatural, which is the banshee, which in English is fairy woman, who in Irish folklore appears before somebody dies. If you see a banshee, you've basically had it. But also the banshee has the gift of prophecy. But not only does it just enter into the song, but they place it. Actually, Casu Banshee do his iglis Belana, that I met a banshee in a very specific place, Belana, which is a place in Donegal, a very small place. So they didn't see any real difference between the supernatural world and the natural world. So I go, Tami Mahi o Jiri and Yalachare, Karshina Chis gan ski safado gager, the Banuati and Olis Tamishan Lamhain, Tanakili Scrada, Essendon and a hollow at me. Hakmanum Jeg de Vel de Wallace de Rua, the Gach Lechley Gal, o Hanigme Atchis Surk. The Kui me Yain in there doing Valakio, ach a Caramachlay, Tanasler Jeder Me, was who. Katseban Shido is at Lisbelana, the Jeffrey Gilam and Chilcha and Gala Igra. She dur Chilam Osishal and Mariachra Sinam the Sal, and her head she fan Cree as Gilter as a Gabra.
I love these words so much in English as well that I want to read them for you. I am sitting up since the moon arose last night, stoking the fire. The family is in bed and here I am by myself. The cocks are crowing and the country is asleep with me. I love your mouth, your eyebrows, your cheeks, your bright eyes, for whose sake I gave up happiness. In longing for you, I cannot see to walk the road. The mountains lie between me and you. I met a fairy woman. I asked her, would any key unlock the love in my heart? And she said in soft, simple words, when love enters the heart, it will never be driven from it. Thank you. So I'm very much looking forward to this next part. I don't believe I've ever heard Ladino spoken by a native speaker. So this is very exciting for me because I play a lot of Sephardic music. And I think we're going to hear some words about the language from Sofia.
Thank you, Diana. Well, Ladino is spoken by all of our grandmothers and grandfathers of the people in the Jewish community in Bulgaria. They brought it with them from Spain when they were expulsed. I believe it has a life today still, even though so little people speak it. I have the privilege to be able to read, understand, and speak, because I do speak Spanish, actually, buenas noches. And I try to speak with everyone I can find and to learn more and more the richness of the language, because I am afraid that it's going to be extinct in a certain moment. But I will try to give you the words as they should sound. Los bilbilicos cantan con suspiros de amor, mi neshama y mi ventura están en tu poder. La rosa enflorece en el mes de mayo, mi neshama se escurece sufriendo del amor. Más presto ven palomba, más presto ven a mí, más presto tú mi alma, que yo me voy a morir. And in English, the nightingales sing with sighs of love, my soul and my fate are in your power. The rose blooms in the month of May, my soul darkens, suffering from love. Come quickly, my dove, quickly come to me, my soul, for I will surely die.
Thank you. So we've come to our final piece of the evening, and this is actually a very powerful prayer that that I had the privilege of playing during the high holidays. Avinu Malkeinu, a very famous prayer. So I'm actually going to have both Sofia and Robert say this prayer in tandem in Hebrew and English.
I'm so sorry, it's almost over. I have to read the last one. Avinu Malkeinu Shema Kolenu, Avinu Malkeinu Chatanu Lefanecha.
Our Father, our King, hear our voice. Father, our King, we have signed before Thee.
Avinu Malkeinu Chamol Aleinu Ve'al Olaleinu V'Tapenu.
Our Father, our King, have compassion for us and also on our children.
Avinu Malkeinu Kale Daver V'Cherev V'Rav Me'aleinu.
Our Father, our King, bring an end to pestilence, war, and famine around us.
Avinu Malkeinu Kale Chol Tzar U'Mastin Me'aleinu.
Our Father, our King, bring an end to all trouble and oppression around us.
אבינו מלכנו, כתבנו בספר חיים טובים.
Our Father, our King, our Father, our King, inscribe us in the book of life.
אבינו מלכנו, חדש עלינו שנה טובה.
Our Father, our King, renew upon us a good year.
שמע קולנו, שמע קולנו.
Hear our voice, hear our voice, hear our voice.
אבינו מלכנו, חדש עלינו שנה טובה.
Our Father, our King, renew upon us a good year.
אבינו מלכנו, שמע קולנו.
Our Father, our King, hear our voice, hear our voice, hear our voice. има по-силни аплодисменти, за да изкарам още една изпълнение. Аз не знам дали Диана ни е приготвила нещо за бис, но ако не...
One more, if you have, if you want to.
You have to go, close the call.
Or we can.
I can't imagine. Okay. One of the things I really love to do besides playing concerts is playing in hospitals. It's really important to me to understand the power of music through playing in hospitals. It's where I see the most pure reactions sometimes to music, and it makes me really, really believe its power. So I'd like to play a couple songs. They're very short, they go side by side, that I often start my session off with. And they're two Irish songs, and they're both by Charlotte O'Carolan, who was the great Irish bard. He lived around the same time as J.S. Bach. And his music is kind of a combination of Celtic music and a little bit of Italian classical that he'd heard at that time.
Mm-hmm.